that number. That's 95523 00009. Does that number ring a bell? So for us, in Maharashtra or rest of India, this might seem like an innocent mobile number. And by the way, it's not the minister's number, so I'm not violating any privacy here. But this number for us, as I said, it's a normal mobile number. But for over 9.5 crore Andhra population, people living there, domiciled at Andhra, this is a gateway to enormous amount of government services and access in their WhatsApp. So through WhatsApp, the platform was in Manamitra. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Manamitra platform is able to engage with the citizens in more than now 700, more than 1,000 services across more than 36 departments, I expect. And this is one-stop shop, or I said a gateway to the people of Andhra Pradesh to access their IDs, their property tax certificates, their caste certificates, education halls, bus tickets, healthcare services, and everything. So I think the Manamitra platform has been a transformational development in the development of Andhra Pradesh as a state. And it was initiated by the minister just about a year back, I suppose. So I think the theme of the Public Policy Festival, what we are doing today, is very much in line with what the minister is initiating in the state. So my first question I would think about for the minister would be that, you have deployed technology extensively for governance in Andhra Pradesh. And we here, outside of the state, we always follow the model of Andhra Pradesh when it comes to any kind of tech interventions in all aspects, but especially also in governance. So can you give us a sense of the outlook towards tech-enabled governments, where we stand right now? What do you think are the possibilities going forward with the advent of new technologies, with blockchain 2.0 and so on and so forth, and some of the initiatives that have been very impactful?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. You pretty much answered the first question with explaining about Manamitra, so I'll not go back to it. But in Andhra Pradesh, we use technology as an enabler to sort of take not only policies to the citizen, but actually look at how we can serve them better. While other states have different maturity levels, Andhra, I believe, is a bit ahead on the curve. If you look at a few examples, I mean, we can go about it all day, but I would like to give a few specific examples of what we are trying to do in Andhra Pradesh. If anyone has followed Mr. Naidu's, our Chief Minister's speech pre-2024 election, he's been talking about skill census. While entire country has been talking about caste census, he's been talking about skill census. And then after we were elected, he gave the task to me. And like a typical politician, I went about saying, let's do this traditional way of doing a census. I did it in my constituency, Mangalgiri, and rest assured, we fell flat. We can't really assess skills across close to about 400 odd traits and the amount of depth that it requires. Then came the entire discussion of how can we use conversational AI as the base to do what I call a skill assessment. Census is a very far-fledged word, at least skill assessment, the level at which they are. So think about it like any job portal on steroids, where it's not only about supply and demand aggregation, but we are now using conversational AI to assess of an AC mechanic or a lift mechanic. This is the power of technology. We just launched it. We are just about completing our pilot. Before India hosts the AI conference, I think in March, we expect at least about 500,000 youngsters to actually be assessed. Two, we are using the same portal to do mock interviews, where we can enable our children who just finished their collegiate education to actually get these mock interviews, tests, and how can they be confident when they go for an interview, because this is probably one of the very first interviews that they're doing in their life. So this is one example of how we are able to use